Now it's time to use function notation. We're going to actually use the function notation. So let's say we're given f of x equals 2x plus 3. And this is a given. So this over here is given. If I didn't give you the equation of the function, there'd be no way to actually figure it out. So let's say I want to know what was f of 5, or f of 3, or f of minus 2. So f of 5 would be, how do I figure out f of 5? What I do is I say, okay, it's going to be 2 times, and we want the x to be 5, plus 3. And 2 times 5 is 10. 10 plus 3 is 13. So f of 5 is 13. F of 3 is, so the x, we make the x 3. So that's going to be 2 times 3 plus 3. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 plus 3 is 9. And if I could summarize this too, I could say, okay, so f of 5 is 13. F of 3 is 9. F of minus 2, same thing, we just plug in a minus 2. 2 times minus 2 is negative 4, plus 3 is negative 1. So f of negative 2 is negative 1. Oops, that went off the screen. F of 5 is 13, f of 3 is 9, f of negative 2 is negative 1. It doesn't necessarily have to be pretty numbers. It could be uglier numbers. So just to recall, we're going to keep the same one. So f of x is 2x plus 3. And we want to know what is f of w. And f of w is pretty much the same thing. It's going to be 2, and instead of x, we plug in w. And it's going to give us 2w plus 3. That wasn't that exciting. How about f of w squared? That might be a little more interesting. So 2, and then we plug something in for the x has to be w squared. So that's going to be 2w squared plus 3. Okay. F of w plus 4. So that's going to be 2. And what do we plug into there? We plug in w plus 4. Plus 3. Now we're not done here. This one we're going to have to do a little bit of work actually. We're going to multiply, we're going to distribute the 2. So 2 times w is 2w plus 8 plus 3, which is 2w plus 11. So f of w plus 4 is 2w plus 11. Okay. As a reminder, f of x is 2x plus 3. We're going to stick with that for now. So what would f of 2w be? And f of 7 minus w. And f of 3 plus 1. F of 2w, nothing special going on here. We plug in 2w, and we get 2 times 2w is 4w plus 3. This one over here, it's going to be 2 times, plug it in, which is going to be 14 minus 2w plus 3. And the good way to write that would be, of course, minus 2w plus 17. Now this one over here, I'm going to do that kind of on the side. So what is f of 3? So we're going to have a kind of side banner over here. So f of 3 is 2 times 3 plus 3, which is 6 plus 3, which is 9. So we know that f of 3 equals 9. And so f of 3 plus 1 is going to be 10. Another way of doing it might be to kind of put the f of 3 into a square bracket. So we're going to have 2. So that is our f of 3. That should have been a 3. All right, so this part over here, that's the f of 3 part. Plus 1, which is 6 plus 9, which is 9 plus 1, which, as we said before, is 10. So f of 3 plus 1 is 10. F of x is 2x plus 3. So 2f of 3 and f of minus 2 squared. So 2f of 3, now we remember from the other page that f of 3 was, if you don't remember, you could look back, that f of 3 was equal to 9. So 2f of 3 is really just 2 times f of 3 is 9, which is 18. F of minus 2 cubed, let's figure out what f of minus 2 is. I think we already did that one, but f of minus 2 is 2 times minus 2 plus 3, which is minus 4 plus 3, which is negative 1. So f of minus 2, f of negative 2 is negative 1. So this then becomes f of negative 2 is negative 1 squared, and minus 1 squared is minus 1 times minus 1, which is just 1.